Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. Says digital U.S. dollar by 2025, inevitable evolution could come quickly, as Bank of America analysts suggest. Okay, as we're seeing destabilization of markets and economies with this petrodollar, or I would say the U.S. dollars being backed by the military. This thing has been in play going over several years, man, as to digital-based currency. Because if you know, America is they're behind an eight ball when it comes to the establishing the crypto. Well, I won't say cryptocurrencies, but the digital currencies. Because when you look at countries like parts of UK or France and Austria or Australia, Switzerland, not Switzerland, but you have a few of those countries that has embarked on a digital currency, not fully, but they lead America in the rat race, so to speak. So matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up real quick. All countries that has gone digital, that has gone digital currency. It says of April 1st, 2025, several countries launched or are exploring digital currencies, which the Bahamas being the first to launch a central bank digital currency called the Sand Dollar in 2020. Okay, so that's roughly 5 years ago. Now, you have Singapore, no, Ukraine, central bank. It says 134 countries now exploring digital currencies as interest tripled since 2020. It says exploring or in development. China has a pilot program for its digital yuan. Kazakhstan announced a pilot program for the digital tenge in 2020. And America, they had a pilot program called Fed Now, I believe, back in 2023. I think roughly in June or July. That's when a lot of those CEOs or a lot of those founders of companies like PayPal and Cash App, allegedly they were knocked off. And then they was mentioning this Fed Now, which I believe is some type of algorithm-based app that you would somehow, some way be able to harbor your CBDCs through, which central bank digital currency, which there has been reports that came out that mentioned that CBDCs will be used in tandem with the MOTB, or is going to be the currency of the new world that's going to be fueled by the MOTB, because everything will be on that digital chip, right? And this is the start of it. Okay, it don't make sense for you to have paper money when you can just opt into a digital currency and use the chip to pay for everything, because it wouldn't make sense. Like if you got paper cash or coins, like Trump is doing away with certain coins, like the pennies, the nickels, soon to be the dimes, the quarters, and they want to get these dollars out of circulation. But it would defeat the purpose of you having feasible or tangible cash in your pocket, but yet you still have to have a digital implant inside you to make your purchases. So this is why they're going over to what they would consider digital. But it says the euro era. The European Central Bank is exploring a wholesale digital euro, and the United States U.S. Federal Reserve is researching the digital dollar. But 134 countries are exploring digital currencies, with 65 in advanced stages of exploration, development, or pilot launch. All right. So there you go. The world is on board with it. European Union, the United Arab Emirates, the Ukraine, Marshall Islands. Yep, which says Marshall Islands plan to launch Marshallese sovereign CBDC built on Algorand blockchain, whose purpose is to promote financial inclusion, which is all set up for, it's all about control. All right, Thailand 2022. Thailand's central bank said that it is expected to test its retail digital currency from late 22 to 23. Japan, Canada, It says, while the USA is yet to launch its e-currency, as per reports, the nation is well on its way to developing a bank-to-bank digital currency. Yep, because see, you have what they call a constitution here in the United States, which give people certain liberties. So certain freedoms they can't infringe on unless they take them away completely. All right, just to get some information on that. But fuck is that, man? Yep. But it says here, following a long-awaited Fed discussion paper about the pros and cons of a potential U.S. central bank digital currency, CBDC, on January 20th, Bank of America economic analysts said that they anticipate a U.S. CBDC to be issued between 2025 and 2030. And honestly speaking, 2030 is a bit of a reach because, I mean, you have all the algorithms in place. You have the digital infrastructure. You have everything you need. So anything else is just really a flex to hold up time, man. But I'll pray to Yahweh Shemi Hawashai that it don't take another 5 years or 4.5 years for this to be coming fruition. But regardless of it, it is moving relatively quick. But the article says it could come quickly. So 2030, I wouldn't really look forward to that. But it says our view remains that CBDCs are an inevitable evolution of today's electronic currencies, although the report implies that the Fed has not committed to an eventual CBDC issuance and would not issue one without support from the executive branch of the Congress of BOF, or Bank of America. Strategist Alkesh Shah and Andrew Moss wrote in the January 24th report. It says a U.S. CBDC will offer from existing digital money available, like cryptocurrencies, to the general public because it will be a liability of Federal Reserve, not of a commercial bank, and therefore it will have no credit or liquidity risk. It says, while this is the first step in a discussion as to whether and how a CBDC could improve the safe and effective domestic payment system, the paper does not favor any policy outcome, the Fed said on January the 20th, which is a bullshit lie, because why do you have Fed now? Okay, and why have you been researching cryptocurrencies and digital bank currencies for the last, honestly speaking, I can't put a number on it, but they've been researching this shit for fucking decades, man, because the whole point of the Federal Reserve being established was to eventually take the US dollar off a gold standard, to make it to reserve currency and to put you on a credit-based system. And when you're dealing with digital currencies, everything is exceptionally credit-based, you know. But it says here, we look forward to engaging with the public, elected representatives, and a broad range of stakeholders as we examine the positive and negative of a central bank digital currency in the United States. But Ron Geffner, which he's probably a small hat, a former Security and Exchange Commission enforcement lawyer who now oversees the Financial Services Department at Cites and Goldberg, told Gold Banking Rates that while the viability and timing of the CBDC is being debated and still unclear, digital currency is a clear consideration for the United States government and its regulators. It says we not only need to adopt comprehensive legislation, but we need to consider the security and the currency of the United States. It says the 33-page Fed paper, which was expected as soon as July 2021, according to Powell's comments at the time, summarizes the current state of the domestic payment systems and discussed the different types of digital payment methods and assets that have emerged in recent years, including stablecoins and other cryptocurrencies. But according to Bank of America's strategic potential benefits of a central bank digital currency includes preserving the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency, improving cross-border payments, increasing financial inclusion, and leveraging a new use case provides a digital currency. Okay, so with that being said, I was listening to a brother's video a while ago that they can possibly launch the digital system by this year. While Lord's will, that's the case. They have to throw everything offline and bring it back online. So some shit has to come to, meaning that they have to do away with the traditional banking methods, meaning the debit cards, the credit cards, you know, your pay by pen or your pen ATMs, etc. Because people are now complaining that the transfer rates, you know, or the transfer turnaround time, like if you put $100 in a bank or you transfer $100 between institutions, it shouldn't take 2 to 4 business days to do so for such a small amount. Or like if you deposit a check for a certain amount, they don't want to, or they prefer you to deposit before cash it, because for the simple fact, they say, well, it could be a liability risk, because let's just say if the check bounces, then we'll have to overdraft your account. But they don't care about you overdrafting your account, because they're just going to take it from you. It's about control, you know? So they're getting ready to switch everything over, man. And it's going to come abrupt while people are not paying attention, because they're all focused on the folly that they're engaging in, you know? But anyway, let's go here to book of Revelation 13, because this is all in tandem with this beast system. All right, so this is the book of Revelation 13, and I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, and he deceived them that dwelleth on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by the sword and did live. And this is all coming part of that image. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, and when you go into this word killed, it can be a physical death, separating body from spirit, or it can be a form of ostracization, ostracizing you, or pretty much starving you out of the system. Because, I mean, there's going to be some people that's going to buck up against the account of the digital-based system, but then they ain't going to be able to get everybody. So a lot of people, they just going to allow to starve out. And they showed you that in that movie Demolition Man. You had what they call scraps that lived underground because they didn't want to integrate into the New World Order. So basically they had to fight for food, and they were ultimately being hunted. But exception, they didn't kill everybody off. But it says to be killed in whatever way, to destroy, to allow to perish. And, you could just let people starve themselves out, because sooner than later, you're not going to be able to pay with paper dollars. OK, it's going to be through digital means. And this is why you have these smart based apps, like Zelle, which Zelle is changing their terms and conditions, which a lot of times you have to do Zelle through your bank account now. First, it was like you can do it through like a traditional online money market, but now you can't, at least to my knowledge. But it says to inflict mortal death, or to deprive of spiritual life and procure eternal misery in hell, which that goes off. But ultimately, they can just cast you out of society, man. And it says here, and he calls it off both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this is what it all boils down to, whether you're going to get the chip or not, because it's all about control. All right. It's not about making things convenient. It's not about making things easier for the common American. It's about all control, because they want to be able to control everything you do. They want to know what you're buying, how you're buying, when you're buying, and they won't track all that shit. So therefore, if you owe money, they can take the money from you. Like if you owe taxes in the IRS, hey, when it's online digitally, they could just take the money from your CBDCs or your chip and be done with the shit, instead of them have to chase you down and garnish your bank account and send you a notice in the mail, because they know most people ain't gonna pay that shit. So in order for them to get their status, we can just take child support from you through your chip, because everything is going to be done through a social credit system, which is the ultimate form of control, man. All right. Isaiah 19, and let's start at verses 4. And it says here, and I will give the Egyptians over to the hand of a cruel Lord, and the fierce king shall rule over them, says the Lord and the Lord of hosts. Right. And we're seeing that with Donald Trump. OK, as he's completely cutting his allies off. He's talking about putting tariffs on the world. He's pissed off at Russia, talking about putting sanctions on Russian crude oil, which the Russians, they don't need you, man. So that ain't going to do nothing but heighten the tensions between America and Russia. Because when you go to the book of Ezekiel 38, it tells you that he was going to put hooks into the jaws of Russia, or Gog and Magog, which is modern day Russia. So America and Russia would never come to peace agreement, because it's set up through the spirit for those two opposing superpowers to clash heads, man. All right. And it says, and the water shall fail from sea to sea, from sea, and the river should be wasted and dried up, and they should turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of the fen should be empty and dried up, and the reeds and flags should wither. Yeah, and that's talking about on a physical level, but as well that's talking about on a political level, financial level. Okay, because when you go into waters, or the people, it goes into your into your livelihoods as well, because the scriptures say living waters. and people are banking on this digital-based system in order to extract complete control in the planet Earth, which is what the elites want to do. Okay, so ultimately it's a device by Satan. You see? So matter of fact, Habakkuk 2, and I'm going to start at verses 1, and it says, and I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch and it says, and will watch to see what he was saying to me and what I shall answer when I am reproved, right? So we're standing upon our watch because the job of a prophet is to watch what's getting ready to take place and warn the flock, man. Okay, this ain't talking about going to Kenya and setting up camps and getting chased off the damn road, man. Which the reason why that happened to the IUIC is because the Lord is not with them. Now if you were hiding behind the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, then that never would have happened. But, you chose to be rebellious and you push Christ in a land that they don't give a fuck about. A lot of them Hamite countries are Muslim, man. So they don't want any semblance of Christianity there. And the fact that you're using Jesus Christ, that's an offense to them devils over there, man. So what the hell you thought was going to happen? But it says here, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For yet the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And though it tarry, 2025, 2030, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So we've been in a tarrying period all up until this time. To now, the Lord is going to bring it to pass, man. And this is what we're seeing. Okay? So Lord's will, you will edify until the next lesson. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom. Baba Shalom.